So I think that's it from me. Just let me know if you have any questions and feel free to reach out anytime.
Thank you, Dr. Dupuy. Appreciate it. I just hit the record button. I apologize for not letting you all know I was gonna hit the record button, but um, just to let you know, I'll record it, and I'll also for our colleagues that weren't able to join us live tonight, they'll be able to watch the recap later on, probably by tomorrow. So. Anyway, thank you very much. So let's go ahead and start with our first little item. So we like icebreakers here, and if you go to the chat box, there is a link to a new tool that actually Julianne showed me last. Was it last time we did this activity? And it's fun, it's interactive. Anyway, if let me go ahead and share my screen again. And you could do this two ways. You can either scan it with your QR with your phone, your QR code, or you can click on the link. If you go to the chat box in Zoom, I pasted it there before, and I can do it again if you need it. Sorry, I'm dealing with about seven screens right now. Okay, so we want to find the chat box. Let's see, where is my screen? Here, let me just stop sharing for a second. And the chat box. There we go. The link is back in there. Okay, so let's go ahead. Hopefully you've had a moment to get, I'm going to go ahead and activate this to get it started. I started activating. I activated this. Oh, and there we are. So go ahead and I want you to go ahead. I made it work, so I hit activate interactions. So I'd like to go ahead and see what the interactions are for this. Um, Waiting for those. Come on, come on. Excellent. So learn about updates. So I asked, the question is, what is an outcome you would like for tonight's orientation? And I kept it anonymous just so this way people don't have to feel nervous about asking. Learn about any updates, determine what's changed for this fall. Excellent information here. I'll even show you what I'm seeing right now. Who is the department chair for math grad school under SOE? Well, graduate would be me, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Depends
Yeah.
on, or Angela. Go ahead. Speak up. Go ahead.
No, I think it would depend on the course. We'd
Yeah.
have to look that up.
Yep. If you send either Angela or myself the number, we could answer it. Let me hit the present button. I bet you the present button's much smoother. Yep. So learn more about the change of the semester. That is definitely what we're going to discuss. To learn any new changes for this year. Yep, absolutely. Meet other professors and what's new, updates to the university. Absolutely. We promise to do that for you. So this is Slido. So you can access it with your QR code. You could do it by an active URL link. It gives you the numbers of how many people are actually on. So I'm going to hit next. Hold on. Actually, that was the end. Let me hit this one right here, which is what is your ideal activity to do during the summer? So go ahead and please type in the text field to create a word cloud. So it also creates word clouds. It's nice. Yep, we're at the beach. I knew I was getting hiking. Wow, look at all these cool activities. And the nice thing, if you know anything about word clouds, the more times it sees a certain word or pattern, it makes the word bigger. Excellent. Let's schedule August meetings. There's always one of them in the group scheduling meetings. Oh boy. Excellent. Thank you. So travel, I appreciate that. And the beach and family visiting, I see a pattern. Excellent. And our final little activity, tell us one fun thing you did during the summer. Feel free to include your name if you'd like. Or if you want to keep it anonymous, you can absolutely keep it anonymous. I wonder who visited China. I know at least one or two people. Alaska, Pat, excellent. Punta Cana for Julie. Eliminate ice from my diet. Interesting. Chelsea, St. Thomas, lucky duck. Oh, we have crabbing. I just got done. I was just on the tributaries of the bay on Friday, and went rock fishing, and I caught some wonderful fish. It was my present to my son who's getting ready to go to college at the end of the week. Kathy went to the Bahamas. Very nice. Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing your awesome experiences. I am jealous. My exciting time was definitely fishing, and my least favorite was sanding the floors of my house. I do not recommend it. So anyway, Slido, very cool tool. And go ahead and close this. Okay, so thank you very much. Moving on. So contracts. Contracts. So as you heard, Dr. Tweed mentioned there's a new system for doing contracts, and they're slowly starting to get the process out. You should receive a contract before obviously you teach. So please make sure also read closely over the contract, make sure that everything is correct. If there's any questions, you would have to ask Julianne to make sure that everything's copacetic. Let's see, make sure that you're receiving all the correct amount of contracts too. Just, you're going to get one for each class, so please make sure you get it. And sorry, I caught you in the middle of a bite, Julian. Anything else big about contracts?
Um, no, like just what Ryan said, make sure like your yeah, self-service, your number of courses match up. Um, and then so I don't like I know that sometimes there'll be the classes that will have low enrollment, and so we'll ask, if we're gonna run, like, well, if we're gonna run it or not. So this way, I mean, it even said it on there before that, when you sign it, you realize that we might prorate it or not. I mean, it's still the same, the policy. So if you sign it, you won't get it back. So you won't get issued a new one or anything like that. It'll just move forward with HR with a prorated amount if we do that. And then just a reminder that if you do have over the 24 students, I have to wait until the ad drop period is over before I go in, like at the end of the week, and get the section availability to look at what the number is, and then ask Natalie to issue you the $100 per student over. So if you have students, if you over 24, even at the beginning of your class, just hang tight and I will be sure that after ad drop, I'll go in and look at those numbers, but I have to wait until then. So, That's it. But yeah, if you feel like you're missing something, if something's off, um, just let me and Natalie know. You can reach out to her, but you can just CC me on it.
Uh, yep. Sorry, I caught you mid-bite.
No, that's
So,
fine.
and just to let you know also, so communication with students. So it's the expectation that once you start teaching that you're getting back to your students within like a 24-hour period. So please just make sure that you are, and again, in your communications with all of your students, just mention that, you check and to check their Notre Dame email account during your course. So this way that's the way you're communicating. If they reach out to you on an outside email account, you're more than welcome to reply. We're not the Gestapo, but Canvas is connected to the Notre Dame email accounts. So it is best that you are communicating using the Notre Dame email accounts and that they are communicating using the Notre Dame email accounts. So please make sure that you're using it for communication. Again, I always make the argument that it's connected to Canvas and makes everything very seamless. And again, it's also School of Education Notre Dame
It's
policy. So,
also a FERPA requirement, like issue too.
yep,
Because we know that we have our safeguards in place if we're sending student-based information across um, our servers.
yep, absolutely. So just please make sure to use your Notre Dame email account and likewise ask your students to. Um, Moving on, so the syllabus. So the syllabus, there is a template that you are to use for your upcoming courses. Now, I know a lot of you that are seasoned at Notre Dame, you probably have your own copies, and that's great, and you have the beginnings of a wonderful syllabus. However, the template constantly is getting updates to its policies and procedures. For instance, if you go back to the old one, you might see language about bright space, and you'll find out about chalk and wire being gone. That stuff, if a lot of people won't look at their syllabi closely, and that language ends up carrying over to where you might have a very old policy. So what you want to do is make sure you're downloading and using the most up-to-date syllabus template to complete your assignment. Again, if you're copying, pasting, your assignments and your materials and information over, that is absolutely fine. But please make sure the policies are in place. To access the syllabus template, you would go to the website. So the website is right here, the address, and I also pasted it inside of Zoom. If you go to here, there is a page that's called Essential Documents and Templates. So if you look right here, it is a copy that you can download. Obviously, from here, it is a view only form of a Word document. You would just go to File and then Download, and then you can make your copy. So please make sure you're using one of these for each of your courses. It's a little bit of copying and pasting. But this way, you know that all of the content has been brought over, and you also, as you scroll down, you have all these up-to-date policies and procedures at the very bottom. Uh, there's even AI, there's a Canvas policy instead of bright space policy now. There is an AI policy in here. So please make sure you're using the most up-to-date one possible. Okay. And I do put the date. I said the last revision was April 2025. It is in the header. So I'm sorry, the footer. So you can actually see when it was the last revision. I do that so I can track the different syllabi templates. So, and the nice thing is that once you have this link, you can, if I say that there's a new syllabus template next semester, you can just go right back to this page. I update it in the background so you can absolutely download the syllabus, the proper syllabus, and have the most up-to-date one. If you're also teaching a course that needs the lesson plan template or rubrics, all of these essential documents are helpful. For instance, if you're doing lesson planning, you can get an access to the template, to the rubric that you need. And we're going to be in the near future, we're going to be updating all the other documents that talk about the School of Education, like committee meeting dates and all that stuff. And also there is a grade change form here that you can download. There is a progress monitoring document here. I'm sorry, it's actually a link to a form. progress monitoring, I'm going to mention in a minute, but there's a link here and it's also on the main page. So I'll talk about that shortly in a moment. Let's see. Okay, so wanted to show everybody where the syllabus was. Okay, so self-service is the school's like information system. It is really kind of like not only is it a place that the students go to pay their bills and get their and find their schedules and do a lot of other things, but for faculty, it's a place where we get all of our information for our courses. We get our schedule, we get our course roster information. We also do a couple important processes. The first thing is roster verification. So roster verification is where we basically check in with the university and our roster stating that these people are showing up. Even if they're in an online course, they are actually participating. Okay, we have to be able to track the students that either show up or they don't show up. So we do a process called roster verification. So if you go to, let's see, if you go to this page, it's called self-service. It actually gives you the information on how to perform roster verification. Right here, roster verification grading. It tells you where to go. So if you take a look, you start here at Notre Dame, Maryland, I'm sorry, ndm.edu, or you can go to the portal of ndm.edu. You can then go to all of these important resources and you'll click on self-service. From self-service, you're going to, when you log in, you're going to get basically it's a list of the courses that you're teaching over the course of the next like semester or two. As you can see, this is mine from a few years ago. So to get into there, I would click on my course to see my course roster. To do a roster verification, which is a process that you're going to do probably, I would say, in the second week, there are dates where they call it a census. We will actually go in and tell the system if the student's attending or if it's not attending. So you would just mark it as, is this person participating or are they not participating? And then you would hit the submit button. So all the directions are here to perform a roster verification. Um, I typically like to send out to our faculty just a reminder, hey, it's time to do, check and make sure you're doing roster verifications. But we have term A, we have term B, so it's hard to kind of do that. So I usually do at the very beginning, please make sure that you're doing this roster verification, and it's called census in the system. So make sure you're completing the census. Okay. This is also the place inside of the self-service is the place where you'll actually submit grades. So if you go to grading, it will be like a little, I couldn't show a big picture because of FERPA and making sure not to violate my students' privacy. You would just go in and there's an actual menu item that says grading. And then you would pick final grade, then you can actually enter the different grades in there. If you need to know the different grade ranges and stuff, you can always go to the main page of this website and it lists the School of Education's undergraduate and graduate scale. And we also provide you with descriptions of our standardized rubric language as well. But that's roster verification, that's self-service. There are more directions. So once you do it once, you're pretty comfortable at going through and doing it again. But if you need a reference guide, go to this website, go to the website and click on self-service to actually perform that activity. Let me go to, where are we? Darn it. Let me go back to my agenda. Trying to keep myself organized. Okay, book orders. So if you go, there's a link up here to bookstores. Now, the school, Notre Dame, sends unique emails to each of your accounts to sign up and provide like what are book adoptions. If by some chance you may have been added late or there might have been a hiccup and you didn't get a request to actually do a book order, if you go to bookstore, I provide a little bit of information on how you can go about ordering your books. You should be monitoring your Notre Dame email to complete the book order form. But if not, there's Cheryl Jacquard. I believe that was, I think, as of last semester. I'm not sure about this semester, but you can always reach out to her if there's some sort of issue, and they can probably transmit a new email to you to do your book orders. Julian, there's no new process, is there? Okay. Should be the same process as before. Okay. But if you're new, go to bookstore and it'll give you the directions, but just keep an eye open. You can bookmark it or flag it inside your Notre Dame email if you need to do it later. So keep an eye open for the bookstore. Keep on jumping around. Okay, so that's the bookstore. Go to agenda. Okay, so chalk and wire. Okay, so chalk and wire has been retired due to just issues with customer service and just a non-responsiveness and just our adoption of Canvas. We saw a time to actually move away from a tool that just wasn't very responsive to a new tool. And what we're doing is we are now adopting Canvas as our main assessment platform. In the background, myself, Angela, Madeline Ball, we've started the process of creating rubrics that we're going to eventually integrate into our courses. However, for now, you may use Canvas to create your own assignments, to do your own tasks and activities, to upload your own resources. There will be directions in the future on how to, if you have an important essential assessment that needs to go into your course, there will be instructions. It'll be flagged as a very important email with very specific directions on how to import assignments and tasks into Chalk and Wire. I'm sorry, into too many systems in my world, into Canvas. So we had to kind of stall and wait a little while because Notre Dame is trying to do like a potential license to actually purchase some dashboard that goes along with this. But Angela, myself, and Madeline are starting to get a little kind of like anxious. So we're actually just starting to create the rubrics right now. So this way we can serve our faculty and serve our staff well. So just be on the lookout for an important flagged email about directions on how to integrate new Canvas rubrics into your course. Okay. So just be on the lookout. Um, and I have actually taken a bit, I think Canvas, I don't know if Canvas is later on. I'm just going to show it to you now. So I spent quite a bit of time trying to organize tutorials. I know some of you adopted Canvas, may use it in your school systems, or it was brand new last semester. You're like, okay, well, how do I use this? This is my first semester. I'm new to the school. So there's a lot of different people with a lot of different experiences. Number one, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to walk you through on how to do an orientation, how to set up your courses. However, some people are like, well, I'm comfortable. I just really want some resources or if I have a question. What I ended up doing is I took the Canvas website and I took their help section and I ended up weeding through all the different tutorials and all the different directions and videos. And I actually went through and created kind of little places that if you had a question or if you wanted to learn how to use a feature, you can go click on here and have that just in time learning experience. So if let's say for instance you want to do a really nice announcement, you can go to this announcement page and figure out how do I set up an announcement? What are the different protocols I can use in the announcements? If I want to set up assignments, what's the difference between an activity and an assignment? It's right here. I want to set up those rubrics. I want to import my course from last semester to this upcoming semester. How do I do that? There's directions here on how to do everything. So there is a plethora of resources that are now available for you to take a look at and use. I also try to take out all the really technical stuff that I don't think you need. So this way it's not, again, I know I made a really long page. Some of this stuff you have no interest in, that's fine. But if you really kind of want to learn how to do discussions or how to do an assignment or if you're uncomfortable on how things are visible and invisible, how do you make that happen? There's a a direction link here for you to access. Are there any questions on Canvas? If there are, you're more than welcome to put it into the chat box, or you can reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to walk you through it.
Ryan, I sent you an email because the Canvas course was set up for the student interns, and I believe all of the instructors are the supervisors, and I'm getting assignments from interns that are not mine. So is there a way, because I know you can assign
Uh-huh.
specific students specific items in Canvas when you're in your course, but is there a way for me just to link myself to those students because everyone's
Yeah,
everyone's responding to that Canvas course and 13 of mine are only like there's only
yeah,
13 of
I
mine
get it.
in there.
I think it's with a group. So I'll Molly, is this your intern group? Intern.
Yeah, this is it. And Kelly sent me the email too, and I was like, ask Ryan.
Yeah,
But
it's
I think it's also notification settings because the email she got was like a notification about an assignment being submitted by a different student.
okay.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, maybe
Kelly,
we
is
can
it
look
just
at
the
it.
notifications that you're getting? Because within Canvas, they're just submitting to one assignment, right? So you can go into the assignment and just pick your student and grade it, right?
You're seeing everyone on there.
Right.
Like I can
Yeah.
see that person's assignment. So it's really not my specific course. It's everyone's course.
Right. That's
So
how it's set up. That's the way it's going to be
Yeah.
set up for this.
Yeah, so the internship and Kelly, I can walk you through it more like offline and stuff and show it to you. It's most likely you're just going to be responsible for if there's like let's say there's 50, you're just going to go in and grade your 13
Yeah.
and you're
okay,
responsible for your 13. Yeah.
Maybe we can create a group though. We might be able to look at that though,
You should
Kelly.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll take a look because we're learning as we go too. But Kelly, for the most part, you can just manually go in and just assess your students' own work, just your students' work. So everybody can kind of go in like a smorgasbord, grade their section, leave everything else you don't want alone. So,
I'm fine with that, but also grades can be seen of
uh,
all students.
you're a teacher though.
It
You're,
doesn't
Okay.
matter if you
yeah,
see it
Okay. Just
because
wanted to make sure.
no, you're an employee,
yeah.
and so you have like FERPA, like all of that. You've signed an
Okay.
agreement, all of that. So yeah,
Perfect. Okay. And
yeah.
that's why I said I was going to try to do a group, as Molly said, but I didn't want to mess with it tonight. And so,
Yeah, you can set up groups, but yeah. So Kelly has a specific type of issue. Reach out to me, and if I don't know, Jose,
okay.
who is the faculty resource coordinator, he is
Robin,
a Canvas guru. Go ahead.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank
Ryan,
you.
did you answer Robin's question? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Neither
But
was sorry,
but anyway,
Robin.
the prior you gotta go to history, Robin. So in
I tried that, and I used to have the authority to do that, and it's no longer an option.
Not quite sure what you mean by authority. You mean like be able to copy work from one course to another?
So I can't even see the prior courses. There is
If
the history, like when I go to history, the prior courses aren't there, just the current courses.
If you go to courses, there's going to be a link. I don't like this, but it's I had to figure this out too. If you go to courses,
Yeah.
there's going to be a link that says more courses or all courses. If you go there, you'll be able to see everything that you've had.
That used to work for me, and I was very familiar with navigating that way. It's no longer an option.
Let me
Does that
let me
make sense? And is anyone else having that issue?
I've seen like I've been having to jump back and forth and I see it. I don't know if I can replicate it right now. Let me
Sure.
Robin, let me reach out to me, Robin. Robin,
Okay.
reach out to me. We'll get it figured out.
Thank you. And one other question.
Uh-huh.
I was asked to teach a couple of courses I haven't taught before, and one of them was taught the last time in like 2022, 2023. Were all of the course shells from
yes,
Brightspace?
Yes.
Okay,
yep.
because
So
I
just
was
reach
told
out to
it wasn't
reach out to
found.
Jose.
I
Yeah,
did, and he
Jose.
said he
Yep.
couldn't find it,
What?
but we'll have him keep looking.
Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
I will tell you this. Jonas actually did tell me he made a complete copy of it. So we can,
Great.
if
Yeah.
Jose can't find it, then Jonas can find it. So carbon
Beautiful.
copy me on it and
Okay,
I'll investigate and I'll make sure it gets done.
thank you.
No problem, Robin. But yeah, reach out to me with your questions. I'll be happy to go on. I'll be happy to investigate. Okay, so let's see. Chocolate and etiquette. Okay. So we know that we are dealing with a lot of students. They are going to be professionals in the education field. We need to set a standard, a nice high standard for them. So what we've done is we've created for our instructors, for our faculty, a etiquette guide. So what I end up doing is I take this etiquette guide and actually put it into my coursework. So this way they understand my expected behaviors for them. So it is, I'll make it a little bit bigger if you can't see. So it's not only is it a kind of like a behavioral understanding between the faculty and students, but also the students and the faculty. So this way we can see that we're developing a positive learning community. So in here I have there's different etiquettes that we created as a faculty during the pandemic, and it's become very helpful throughout since we have a lot of online teaching. So this netiquette is here for you. It goes over everything from synchronous video etiquette to how to respond to people in discussion threads. And if you would like a copy of this, there are downloadable Word documents or maybe the PDF. Yeah, Word documents at the very bottom for you to download. So the netiquette's very helpful. Hopefully you can import it into Canvas and you can use that as a resource. Did I answer all questions? Let's explore as a group. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure. Okay. I think I've answered everything. If not, I'll try and go back to the chat box again. Canvas, do it. Okay. Back to agenda. Okay. AI statement. Okay. So in the syllabus and in other places now, the School of Education has an AI policy statement. It's not about making things like insulting, or it's not about taking away your academic freedom. But we know that faculty need some guidance when it comes to AI. We know AI tools are out there and they can be used for a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. We understand that. There are guidance. So please know in your syllabus, there is a shared AI policy of the School of Education. We don't, we don't, you can provide your students with the expectation of how they use AI in your class. Whether you decide that you don't want to use it or you do want to use it, you can give them the type of guidance and how they can use it. We state that in the School of Education, if you're using it, that you cite the content that you use inside, as you would any academic source. So please make sure that you are reading closely the School of Education policy that is in the template on the syllabus. Okay. Canvas. So if by some chance I'm going back to Canvas, I'm sorry to jump around, but if you notice that when your Canvas course site comes up and it's cross-listed, sometimes we cross-list a lot of courses. If you're noticing that something's off or something's wrong, um, reach out to Jose and probably Julianne as well, just to make sure everything's correct. Sorry, Julianne, but just to make sure that it is coded correctly, that you have access to the correct Canvas site. So this way, since we kind of bunch and combine them all together, that you can actually go there and that you're in the right spot. Sometimes, occasionally, Jose has to push it out manually to make it something work or something's happened. Just if you think you're missing something, reach out to us, please. We'll make sure to get you in contact because we don't want you to start the semester and you don't have your Canvas site up or access to it. It's just delayed. So please, once you go into Canvas, once they're open and up, just let us know. If there's
We have noticed that there's been several times that the cross listing hasn't happened. It's supposed to happen automatically, and it hasn't. And if for some reason, like you're co-teaching with someone, sometimes someone will have one part, someone will have the other. Like Lisa and I co-teach a class, and one of us will have one and the other. And so we've had to ask to have that fixed. So I know that's happened. So just make sure if you don't see the cross-listed shell, don't think you're crazy. Um, Reach out and ask.
And just to kind of keep on with Canvas too, as you develop your site, there is now Canvas, I think, now defaults that it's visible to all students. So we used to have to open it up, and this way you'd open it up and give it visibility to the students. I think in just the switch over from Brightspace to Canvas, I think that everybody just felt, you know what, let's just open it up for them. So please make sure that you're putting up your syllabus early. And I suggest reaching out with an announcement within, like maybe a week or two before, put up your syllabus 2 weeks prior to the course. Try and send an announcement so this way you can kind of get information out to your students as quickly as possible. Canvas has an announcement feature that's fantastic, and it's connected to the Notre Dame email. So you can also do a video announcement in case you don't want to just type in a word. You're more than welcome to do that, or audio too. So feel free to do the announcement section. It does go out to their Notre Dame email. Um, so as I said before, it is set up as automatically visible. However, you can still use the features inside of Canvas to make things invisible. So if you want to it's usually like a little icon of an eye. You can shut it off. It will be invisible to the student. You can open up the eye and it will be visible to the student.
Hey,
Beth, do you have a question? Oh, okay. I think maybe Beth just unmuted and coughed. I'm sorry. Okay, so if you have any other questions about Canvas, of course, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you, just like I'm going to try and help out Robin. So, progress monitoring. Now, we want our students to be successful. We understand that sometimes students struggle, they have life situations, family emergencies. The biggest thing to really communicate in your opening is that ask them not to fall off the face of the earth. If there are some sort of issue, if there's an emergency, or if there's a life situation that happens, we are, we understand, we're understanding, but we cannot help them if students just abandon ship. If they go radio silent, if they don't talk to you, if they don't communicate with you. So what we ended up doing is, as the School of Education created progress monitoring, the faculty the faculty and staff, we collaborate, we contact each other if we notice that there's a student struggling, and in likewise, we try and provide some ways to try and reach out to them, some find out what's going on, try and get them back on track. So to get to progress monitoring, you do it two ways. Number one, the home page. It's the very first thing on the home page is you can see that there is progress monitoring is a link. You fill that out, and the faculty, our wonderful advisors, get notifications, and that we work, and then they work with leadership, and they also work with the instructor. So it's a very short form. You just basically fill out. You say what your the student name is, your name, the course you're teaching, and what's the problem. And then what happens is in the background, the advisors are working, and the leadership is working to reach out to them and find out what's going on to try and see if we can help guide them on. So please make sure you're doing progress monitoring. We do meet, if I think it's almost bi-weekly, or at least every 2 weeks, to try and work with our students to try and help them. So progress monitoring, very important. My suggestion is definitely bookmark this page and understand that progress monitoring is right on the home page. Okay, so just keep on going. Okay. Updates from advising. Julianne, do you want to walk through the advisors?
Right. So Donna Schischler, I think all of you know her. She is our senior director of advising and operations, so she knows everything. So she's the one that you can contact if you have any like just generic general questions, or if you can't get a hold of anyone else. Caroline deals with Harbor, Forbush, all like the special cohort groups. Amy has taken over all of the ACT students now. So anyone who's doing the accelerated programs, she has also deals with the Montgomery County cohorts and then the ADW groups as well, and then Southern Maryland groups. And then Lauren McHugh is our new advisor. She took over Marcia Simpson's spot. So she's dealing with all the MATs, MAT SOLs, and then our GEI students. And then, of course, you all know Molly King. And then Lauren Mealy is our new PhD advisor. So she is also doing our case students as well. And then Renee is still doing all the undergraduate students. So anyone who is cause or traditional undergraduate.
Yep. And again, if there's ever any, like, if you need to reach out to somebody, you can always start with Donna, and Donna can obviously expedite that, or obviously, go through the tree of who it belongs to, and they can put you in contact if you have to get a hold of a student's advisor.
Yeah, it's harder now. Like we can't identify it. When we used to have Web Advisor back in the day, you used to be able to click on the student and figure out who their advisor was, but the new self-serve system doesn't allow you to do that. And I've asked registrar if there was a way to do it, and I guess there's not. So unless they're your advisee, which that doesn't help us. So if you need to know who the advisor is, yeah, reach out to Donna.
At this point, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to ask Dr. Angelo Tizia to introduce himself and give him his section. Go ahead. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Dr. Letizia, Initial Certification Programs Department Chair. Just a couple things that I wanted to go over. I know some of you might be sick of hearing this. I kind of have the same spiel, but every year. But so number one is the faculty evaluation process. I've been doing these for a couple of years now, and I've met with a number of you. And hopefully, what I'm about to say sounds genuine. I hope it does. It really isn't about a gotcha or anything. It really is about putting you in contact with us and just having another way of communication. And I've felt that. I've had some really good conversations with a number of you, and so hopefully you feel the same. So if you're new, so basically I just try to reach out, and you do a self-observation, and then we schedule a time to talk. Usually lasts about 10-15 minutes. And so I'll be reaching out with with some requests this year, but been doing those for about 2 or 3 years now. So the other thing, I've been doing this for Molly King, and I have been working on this for about two years or now. Just always want to put a plug in for this, is our post-completer mentoring program. So a lot of times when our interns, when they leave, when they complete the program, not surprisingly, they still need some support. And we've been able to offer support to a number of people that have already graduated. Usually it is our supervisors that do this. But if anybody has any interest in this, any interest at all, or you just want more information, please just contact me. It's a good program. We have small numbers, but I think it has been a good program. So the other thing that I really want to talk about, last year, in line with our directives from CAPE, we had to start running inter-rater reliability. And I've talked to a number of you about this, and a number of you have participated in this process, and I thought it was really successful. And again, one of those things where it seems like a gotcha on the surface, but it really turned out to inspire a lot of good conversations. I had a lot of good conversations about, it was really interesting to hear how all of you approach, grading and assessment and evaluation. And it was just neat getting a bunch of people together and having these types of discussions. And that's really what it's meant to do. So just quickly, inter-rater reliability is when we have the same course taught by multiple people. So if we have a methods course and it's taught by 3 people, we have to make sure that all 3 of those instructors are calibrated, are basically on the same page when it comes to grading. So we can't have, one lesson graded at 100 and the same, and then, graded at a 60 from somebody else. And so basically inter-rater reliability, as the instructors meet, they grade a sample And then the idea is to try to get as close as try to get our grades as close as possible. And then we talk about our differences in the grading. And again, it's really just a calibration. So we ran this last year. We have a few courses that will be up for this year. That will be Special Education 321/546 and SB 326/526, and also EDU 543, which I believe is the research course. And as sometimes these emerge as we bring on new people and we have multiple people teaching the same course, then we'll need to do an interrelator reliability session. And all it is you basically we meet for half hour, 45 minutes. Everybody grades something beforehand. You come to that session with it graded, and we talk about our differences and our similarities, and we come up with a number. We log all this, and we have it all logged for CAPE. So if anybody has any questions on that, please let me know. I will be reaching out to you if we need to. The other thing too, I also wanted to put a plug in with Canvas. I think this is really important, as we move to online, uh, primarily online, a lot of asynchronous courses. Canvas has some great capabilities of using audio capabilities, and always trying to diversify the way that we deliver our instruction. There's some really great audio tools in Canvas. You can record yourself either as an audio or as a video. Your students can record themselves. They can do this in discussion posts. You can record yourself giving feedback to them, so it doesn't just have to be written feedback. I also find that I've been doing audio visual now for really since COVID, and I've had a lot of success with it, and find that especially in an asynchronous course, it kind of replicates community. You can kind of hear each other's voices. They can see you, you can see them, they can hear you, you can hear each other's voices, and it kind of replicates a type of community. Plus, as one of my students pointed out to me, I hadn't even thought of this, but as we move to AI, and I'm sure there'll be a way to do this, right? But at least for now, when you have students creating videos and talking, so I don't want to say it's AI proof. I don't think anything's AI proof, but it is a little different than writing a paper where you have to sit in front of your camera and talk about something. I guess you could generate a transcript, but that wouldn't be very natural. So it's again not AI proof, but it does I think limit at least the way students can use AI, and forces them a little bit out of their comfort zone. And again, it just enhances, I think, the deliverability of asynchronous education. Dr. Dupuy, I think that was it for me. Did you need me to talk about anything else? I think that was it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Just for me, as I'm the department chair for advanced programs, so that would be a lot of the graduate programs, a lot of graduate certificates. I'm also going to be seeing people about. I don't want it to be seen as like an evaluation, but it's more of like mentoring and helping new faculty, but also seasoned faculty too, to observe and learn what you're doing in your classrooms. Um, Also, just to know, just a course evaluation. So when we jumped over to Canvas, there's a lot of issues with course evaluations. I think they've now gotten it worked out to where now you're going to be able to access your course evaluations. Your students going to be able to see them and complete them. There was almost an entire semester where it was just like a hard situation, you wouldn't get it. So now I think they've gotten all the bugs worked out to where they can either answer it they can complete their course evaluations and give you that valuable feedback, much the same way that they used to in the past. They could either go to a menu inside of Brightspace or Canvas, they can go there, complete it manually, or they can do it through an email, go there, complete it, and it's still anonymous. So they're still being able to give you that valuable information and that data. So again, I think they fixed all the bugs. You should be gaining access to them eventually, like 2 weeks after the course ends. So it took a little bit of doing so, but they've fixed that. I'm going to go ahead and ask Dr. Lisa Pallett to talk about EdTPA. Lisa, would you like me to turn off my screen sharing?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't have anything to share, just my face.
It's a lovely face.
But you can see me better now. All right, so our students are still required to complete EdTPA. For those of you who are not very familiar with it, it's a portfolio that they put together during their internship. It has 3 tasks. Task 1 is their planning, evidence of planning. So those of you who teach an initial certification, when you're teaching that lesson planning, you're supporting them. We do ask that you use, because they need to use, the Notre Dame lesson plan template, which you can find on the SOE website. That will help prepare them for what they need to do. Then they are going to do task 2, which is the instruction task. They do need to submit videos of them teaching. So think about assignments that you could do. Sometimes they even just have a hard time getting the video from their phone to their computer to upload somewhere. So anything kind of videos that you can have them upload, what helped them through the process. And then task 3, they are assessing. That's one of the tasks they have the most challenge with, is assessing. So think about anything you can integrate where they're looking at whole class student data, making instructional decisions based on that, analyzing specific student work, providing feedback to students. Those are all things that we can do in our coursework to help support them. That being said, also realize that when they have your courses, they don't really know much about EdTPA yet. So, you do need to provide any kind of background information for them that goes with the assignments that they're required to submit for your course, like if you're to do something similar. Let's see, if you need any support with, an assignment, if you want to show it to me or Angela Snyder, also coordinates EdTPA. I do elementary, early childhood, and then secondary science, social studies, math, and English. She does special ed TESOL, and then all of the others, business, computer science, kind of the one-offs. So, if there's anything you're thinking about doing, if you want to run things by us, we also are planning on doing, Molly just asked me, I haven't confirmed, but yes, I am willing to do some professional development with supervisors. So I would like to involve any of you who are interested that it relates to what you're teaching. So look for some invitations for some professional development, or clearly you can have some one-on-one time with us if you would like. So that's what's coming up for those of you who supervise. November 3rd is going to be the date they submit. So be extra nice to them right before then. I think I just sent Molly the schedule. If not, I will soon. I did. I sent it today. So she'll be sharing that with supervisors or anybody who works with
Tomorrow.
them
Yep.
internship. So that, we know they're all ready then, but thank you for those of you who have started integrating, some preparatory assignments into your courses. We think that's really important. And if you're now starting to think about that and want some ideas, we have ideas that we can share. That's one of the things we've talked about in initial certification committee with Angela. We've talked about, what are some resources we can put together that we can share. So for example, knowing that assessment was a challenge, I created a new assignment in my class where they have to create a math assessment that kind of meets those same EdTPA requirements. I've also done something where I give them whole class data and they have to do an analysis of it. So if you're looking for ideas, some of us have some things that we can share and you could adapt them to your content area. So that's pretty much where we are with EdTPA. Oh, and just when we all get used to it, I shouldn't even say this yet because it's freaking me out a little bit. It's under construction. I think it's going to change in like a year or two. So hopefully the change is for the better. I think they're trying to simplify. There was a minor change to handbooks that happened this year. It's not significant. It wouldn't matter if they used the old handbooks, but they did make some changes that are supposed to clarify language. They combined a few handbooks. So things do look a little bit different, but no significant changes or anything that would impact the instruction or support that you are providing during your courses. All right, and I would say integrating it into coursework is especially important if you're teaching a methods course. So, please be in touch with someone if you need some ideas for that or need more information about the said TPA and what it's all about. It is similar for those of you familiar with National Board Certification. A lot of people talk about it as being kind of like a baby version of that. So, we find that our nationally board certified teachers are able to really help support them. So if you have that in your background or know a little bit more about that, kind of take some of what you know already and apply it. All right. All things at TPA. Any questions? Let us know.
And since Dr. Pallett's so awesome, she's also going to continue on talking about the PhD program.
Okay, so I don't see very many people. Joe's on. He teaches in the PhD program, so I'll just give some highlights. So Lauren Mealy is our new PhD advisor. So she's going to be supporting students in the PhD program with their program plans. I'll still be coordinating and working with those students through defense and the PhD committee type things that happen. But Lauren's already started. She hit the ground running and she is doing an amazing job. So I'm very happy to have her. Another really exciting thing, we're close to getting a new program approved in EDD, but we don't have that yet approved. So no official announcement on that yet, but that's will be revealed sometime soon. And then 2 changes that have happened with the PhD program. Comprehensive exams, we have moved to a later date in the program where they take it. So they're not taking it prior to the research courses and starting on their dissertation. They're actually taking it later when they start their dissertation continuation. So it'll have a closer connection to their dissertation topic and readings that they have done. So that's a change. And then also dissertation defenses are not going to necessarily be through the PhD committee, but students' chairs will coordinate the PhD defense process. So we'll have some paperwork that needs to be filled out related to it, but the process will be a little different. And, both of those changes are to benefit our students so that we don't want to put them in a holding pattern at any point in time. So both of those are to help them move through at their pace. So they don't have to wait 6 months to be able to take comps or to retake comps. It'll kind of fit better into their schedule and meet their needs. So that's the plan for a PhD program.
And in
All
case,
right.
yeah, in case you need any, just more information, I put the PhD website that we provide for students up in the chat box. So this way you can see all the timeline, all the resources we give for them, all the, again, video tutorials. We even have our defenses up there, in video format. So this way you can actually see them. The students can see them and stuff. So just in case you need it, it's there.
Yep.
Okay, so anything else? Sorry, Dr. Powell, anything else?
Nope. Thanks.
Thank you. So just a few other things. So we value very much you are a part of our faculty. What we do is on our website, we promote you. So if you are a part of, here I have to share my screen. Sorry, it's a proud dad moment, so I can show off all the awesomeness here. Share right here and share. Okay, so up on the site, I do have a place right here to meet the associate faculty. I ask that if you aren't up here to please send me a picture of yourself and just a short little bio, so this way I can send it, so that this way I can put it up there for you. If you want to update a picture or update your bio, you are more than welcome to send it to me. I'm happy to do it. So please make sure you send it to me, and I will have it up here probably in the next day or so. So please, if you aren't up here, yeah, as you can see, I have an alphabetical order. All the wonderful faces here. Very nice images, very nice pictures. So please make sure to send it to me. Let's see. Go back. Yes. We are coming up on the home stretch here. If you could please, at any point, if you're on the site, please make sure that you're completing the School of Education Associate Faculty contact information form. We want to make sure that we have up-to-date information. If there's like so just please, if you haven't done so already, if you're new, please make sure you're completing it so this way we have your contact information. This way we can reach out to you when we have these meetings or if we have an update. I promise not to spam your secondary email. But just so in case we have an emergency or something like that, we can reach out to you. Uh, okay, at this point, we wanted to start to wrap things up and say, number one, thank you for sharing your evening with us. I did record this and I'm going to stop it in just a minute, but do we have any final questions or comments?
I just have one quick one, Brian. Is there in your Canvas information, is there information on how to go from Brightspace to Canvas? Because I did not teach last semester.
Uh-huh. There is it's not a specific one. So it's more like how do you put a cartridge in? So if you want to reach out to me, like number one, I used my link. I was able to get into Brightspace right now. So
Okay.
here's Brightspace right now. So if you log into Brightspace, I don't know when, now listen, they could turn this off next week. I have no idea. They keep on kind of postponing it. If you go into a website, let me see. I think this one doesn't have anybody in it. If you go to this website right here and you want to download the information from it, oh my goodness, I have to remember how to do this because now I'm in Canvas all the time. You go to course admin. So I'm in the system. So you go into your course, you go to import, export, copy components. What you need to do is export. I usually do it as either a common cartridge or you could probably do an export as a Brightspace package. So you want to do one or the other of these. Okay.
Okay.
So you click on this and you hit the start button, and it's going to go through the process. Make sure you click on also take out all your documents. You want to include, it's going to create a zip file. Okay. This zip file is what you're going to import into Canvas. From Canvas, you would then it's going to ask you in every single page it asks you, do you want to import into Canvas? Do you want to import, into this course? It'll ask you, and that's how you would import this package. Be
Okay.
patient. Some of these take some time to download, especially if you have a lot of documents or video and stuff. It might take a bit of time to download, so just be patient with it. But you can take
Okay.
this from Brightspace into Canvas. Again, this is just this could be down anytime now. So Brightspace is still available, but I don't know how long.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, well you have our email addresses, so you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I did record this.